Jesus is alive today. For many Christians around the world, Easter is a day of celebration in the belief of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Many people go to church on this day. Others dress up as a big bunny. But Muslims don't celebrate this holiday. Why is that? Well, first of all, Muslims love Jesus. In fact, he's mentioned multiple times throughout the Quran. But in Islam, there is a running theme that can never be brought to question: monotheism, meaning God can have no partners and no children, and that we must never entertain idolatry. Which brings me to belief number 1 about Jesus. Muslims believe that Jesus was the son of the Virgin Mother Mary, or Maryam. And much like Adam, the first man, he was born with no father, meaning he's not the son of God and he's not God. Rather, he is a creation of God, just like all human creation, sent on this earth to worship one God alone. Belief number 2. Muslims believe that Jesus came with a very special purpose, but also a key message for his people: worship God alone. So for instance, in the Bible, we believe that when he said to worship the Father, this Father has been either mistranslated or misinterpreted, as languages change over time. But the point still stands. He wanted people to stop associating others with God, other people or objects, and that includes himself. Instead, he told people to worship God alone, not him. Belief number 3. Muslims believe that Jesus performed miracles by the permission of God. This does not mean that he is God. So we believe that he cured the leper, turned water to wine, healed the blind, etc., etc. But it's a bit like how Moses could perform miracles, like splitting the sea. This doesn't make Moses God either. Rather, it was all by God's permission. Belief number 4. Jesus never died on the cross. We believe he was tortured and persecuted, much like most of the prophets that existed throughout time. And this was due to the people of his time not wanting to change their ways, but also specifically not wanting to accept him as a prophet or the Messiah. They saw him and his influence as a threat to society. However, it was revealed in the Quran and the Bible, we believe, that he would be protected by the angels and ascend to heaven. So God did not allow Jesus to die, but it was made to appear so, as it says in the Quran. Belief number 5. Muslims believe that Jesus is the Messiah and that he will return. He will fight for the believers in a time of great deceit, destruction, and generally just hopelessness. We believe that he will fight alongside the Mahdi, who will be the one leading the army against the Dajjal. The Quran is a little bit more descriptive and specific in the description of the Dajjal than the Christian belief of the Antichrist in Christianity. For instance, he will only have one fully functioning eye, and that he will be the only one to claim that he is God, and that by accepting him as God, that you will be able to find salvation. But it will be only in this life, only temporary. Which brings us to belief number 6. Jesus will return, but not resurrect. As Muslims believe that he never died, we believe that he never resurrected. Instead, we believe that he is still in heaven, where he ascended that day. So he was protected, he ascended, and he will finally return near the end days. And that's when he will finally die for the first time. And this will be after the chaos of the Ya'juj and Ma'juj, otherwise known as Gog and Magog in Christianity. So what do we mean by ascended? So we believe that he never died, and therefore he never came back to life. He's just been alive since birth and is still alive. So no, we don't believe that it's just his soul that went to heaven. We believe that it was his whole self. In Islam, we believe in 7 layers of heaven and 7 layers of hell. And in Islam, it's believed that Isa alayhi salam, or Yesur, or Jesus, is on the 2nd heaven. So as a quick recap: 1, he was a male creation born of virgin birth. 2, his message was monotheism, to worship nothing and no one, including him, except Allah, or God, the Creator. 3, he performed miracles, but by the permission of God. 4, he never died on the cross. He was protected, and therefore he is still alive. 5, Jesus is the Messiah, and he will come back to fight against the Dajjal. And finally 6, he will return, but not resurrect. Hopefully this gives you a better understanding about what Muslims believe about Jesus. So whether you're fasting for Ramadan, or if you're going to be going to church on Sunday, I hope this helps people like past me understand a little bit more about what Muslims really believe about Jesus. If you've got questions, you can try to leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. But otherwise, I really encourage you to do some research yourself, or simply open an English translation of the Quran. You can also go to your local mosque to find out more, or go to someone more learned than I am. But the nicest thing about Islam is that you don't actually have to be convinced about it from a particular religious institution. You can literally just open the book for yourself and you'll see the truth. As we're taught in Surah Al-Kafirun, to you is your religion and to me is mine.